This is easily one of the wildest stories that I've ever seen, and what an emotional roller coaster it would be for these parents. Check this out. A girl, 3-year-old girl, declared dead at a hospital, wakes up during her funeral, only to die again. Oh, hey. At least they didn't have to, rebook the funeral home, They didn't have to adjust any of the other, bookings, all the food for the wake, you can continue to use. Anyways, a 3-year-old girl woke up during her funeral before being officially declared dead after the doctors mistakenly presumed her dead in the first place. Holy. The family of Camila Roxana Martinez Mendoza, holy shit, is accusing the Salinas de Hidalgo Basic Community Hospital. How basic is it if they can't even get the correct mortal declaration of somebody correct? Terrible. The young girl was experiencing stomach pains, vomiting, and fever when her mother, Mary Jane Mendoza, took her to the hospital. Took her to see a pediatrician in the family's hometown of Villa de Ramos on August 17th, El Universal, a newspaper, reported. Mary Jane Mendoza. Well, okay, this kind of sounded like a superhero origin story, but did you need to be so on the nose with the naming conventions? The doctor escalated the issue and recommended that the child be taken to the hospital in the central Mexican state of San Luis Potosí, to be treated for dehydration. The kid is throwing up, has stomach pains, and a fever, and your immediate thought is dehydration. Well, maybe you don't know how much she was throwing up. Wild. Okay. Doctors at Salina de Hidalgo Basic Community Hospital placed a cold towel over the little body to lower her body temperature. Wow. Universal healthcare at work right there. And placed a pulse oximeter, sure, on one of her fingers to keep track of her oxygen levels. Okay. Camilla was released from the hospital with a prescription for paracetamol, which treats pain and fever. So they gave the kid, instead of addressing what you thought was dehydration, you gave them a pain pill? What the fuck? But continued to deteriorate as the day continued. Yeah, because you just addressed pain and fever. You didn't get to, the central issue, something with the stomach going on. But continue. She was seen by another doctor who instructed her mother to feed her fruits and water and prescribed a different medication. Oh, great, pill pushers around the world. Despite the medication and advice from the medical experts. Remember, guys, trust the experts. The toddler continued vomiting. Should you fucking figure this shit out? Christ. Her worried parents took her to see another doctor who suggested she be rushed to the emergency room. Camilla was readmitted to Salinas between 9 and 10 p.m., and doctors worked to help the young girl. They wanted to give her intravenous therapy. That seems like it would work at this point, considering the fact that the initial diagnosis of her being dehydrated hasn't been addressed so far, at least what we've been told. They took a long time to put oxygen on her mother said. They didn't put it on her because they couldn't find the little veins. Finally, a nurse managed it. I don't know how poor central Mexico is, but boy, it sounds like shit. It's adorable. They got matching little dresses for the little girl for her mother's quinceañera. After about 10 minutes, the IV was removed from the little girl, which was taken away. Who was then taken away to rest. 10 minutes of IV treatment? What the fuck, were you rationing it for the rest of the hospital? I asked that half jokingly. She still was hugging me and took her away and told me, you have to let her rest in peace. Oh, God. That hurt. It's super sad. I know, I'm just making a very obvious claim. Bizarrely, Mendoza was then kept from her ailing daughter in a separate locked room. She was able to get out, but still could not get into the room where her daughter was being kept. Camilla was later declared dead from dehydration. Dead from dehydration. You went to 3 different doctors, and only one of them put her on an IV for 10 minutes. This, I don't know what the laws are in Mexico, but if it has, any sort of malpractice statute, It sounds like a lot of people are going to get sued over this, okay? But it still doesn't replace the fact that the kid died and then was reincarnated and then died immediately. What a fucking roller coaster of emotions, Christ almighty. Like, just imagine that. The next day, the funeral viewing was held for friends and family to mourn their beloved toddler when Mendoza noticed a glass window in the coffin fogging up. Holy fuck, that would be terrifying, okay? First and foremost, you're just grieving, okay? Who you thought was dead, your dead kid, your 3-year-old dead daughter, and who knows how long that lid was closed, and then she for whatever reason sprung back to life. What a roller coaster of emotions, okay? Yes, you had overcome with grief, and then you got this just big wave of optimism that, holy fuck, the Lord has just shined down on us. I guess we're going to have to take down those Craigslist ad, getting rid of a bunch of little baby furniture. Can't all be dour, folks. If you don't like the jokes, fuck off. But then all of a sudden, we know how this ends, and it sucks. Other funeral attendees told the distraught mother that she must be hallucinating and dissuaded her from opening the coffin. Well, if you just try to, get a better viewing through the little glass panel that's on there, that's kind of weird to have on a coffin, I guess. Why wouldn't it be open? Again, customs could be completely different, I understand. But if you can't wipe that fog that's off the top of there, yeah, that would be a problem. Okay. However, Camilla's paternal grandmother reportedly rushed to take a closer look, and she noticed Camilla's eyes moving and shockingly discovered she had a pulse. Whoa, that is fucking wild. That is such a weird setup. Okay, we could only see there for a little while. The way that I had that, I thought that would have been like a Disneyland or some kind of a knockoff Disneyland thing, because you got Minnie Mouse and Woody from Toy Story for whatever reason. Okay, I didn't think it would be that morose, but hey man, they had somebody videotaping the funeral. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Camilla was rushed by ambulance back to the Salinas hospital. Why would you take them back to that hospital? They killed her the first time, and then he brought her back. It's like, can you guys finish the job? Where doctors unsuccessfully attempted to revive her and declared her dead again. Oh no, we got it right we got it right now. Okay, didn't get it right the first time. This time from cerebral edema, brain swelling. Oh my god, she was, I would imagine she's probably so dehydrated at this point, because who knows how long she was in the coffin. I don't know if they get to that at this point, and if she was already initially declared dead from dehydration. The way that it manifests, and then she started to have swelling in the brain. Oh boy, that was really where my baby was done. Yeah, no shit. We were devastated because my girl was a very happy person. Oh, she got along with everyone. She didn't single anybody out. She's also 3 years old, and just, again, grieving parents, let it slide this case. We have many people on the ranch who support us because she was cherished. Family was planning to send Camilla to her first day of kindergarten this week. She's only, sorry, did I get the age wrong? I thought she was 3. Yeah, she's 3 and she's just going to kindergarten. Some shit's not adding up here, okay? Oh, cute little dress. The first death certificate had to be amended. Holy fuck. How often does this happen? Obtained by her parents listed Camilla's cause of death as a dehydration, while the second noted dehydration, cerebral edema, and metabolic failure. Okay. What I really want is justice to be served. Yeah, I have no grudge against the doctors who went to extreme measures, she said. What? So who are you seeking justice from? I don't get it. God for playing tricks on you like that? Fucking Christ. I only asked the doctors, nurses, directors be charged. Oh, okay. You shouldn't have said that first part then. That could ruin your case. I have no grudge against the doctors. Now it's just going to look like it's malicious prosecution. But again, you get a pretty good case here. I'm just saying, okay? I ain't no ambulance chaser. I don't have my bar license from in central Mexico, so, or whatever the equivalent is. I only ask the doctors, nurses, and directors to be charged so that it does not happen again. How often is this going to happen, okay? Like, there was Christ and this little girl who came back from certain death, okay? Heartbreaking case is investigated by the San Luis Potosí, there we go. State Attorney General Jose Luis Ruiz. These are some of the most Hispanic names that I've ever seen in my fucking life. You confirmed that an autopsy is underway. Well, again, this kid has been treated like a fucking lab rat for the past week and a half or however long this has taken case. So what's another incision? Because again, if it just comes out that this was just a basic dehydration that was completely and totally botched by 3 different physicians at least, and they might end up owning Mexico at this point, because this just seems like malpractice at a fucking the highest level possible. But like I said, man, this is the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life, and the fact that doctors from around the world just completely bungled this as hard as they did. Couldn't get a kid, healthy just based on stomach pains and a fever. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, I know a lot of people run the United States healthcare system up the flagpole, but I haven't seen a story like this come out from anywhere, so count your lucky blessings. And again, huge condolences to the family who got their hopes up and down and then up again and then down again. But all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.